Everyone's in. All right. Good morning and welcome to Season 3 of the Lighting Systems 2010 series. My name is Brian Franco from the Technical Support Team. Joining us today is Rob Aronchick, Principal of ARON Lighting. ARON have been providing some great solutions for T-bar ceiling, such as the quad and duo fixtures. And today, Rob will be kind of reintroducing their products for use in drywall applications. At the end of the presentation, please enter any questions you have in the chat, or as we go through the presentation, enter those questions and we'll address them at the end. If you would like to schedule a follow-up with Rob, please reach out to your lighting systems rep or click the link on the 2010 page on our website. Go ahead, Rob. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for your time today. As Brian mentioned, I am Rob Aronchick, one of the owners of ARON Lighting. We're based outside of Philadelphia, where we do all of our fixture design work and all of our manufacturing of all of our different luminaires. And what I wanted to talk to you about today are situations that maybe you come across in different spaces, commercial spaces, where you're looking to integrate your lighting in a different way for drop ceilings. We specialize in designing our luminaires where they integrate in a really different, innovative way where you as a specifier, a designer, an engineer, may be trying to look for different ways to integrate lighting into those types of spaces. So all the products you're going to see today, what I'm talking about today, think about education, office spaces, any sort of commercial interior space where you have a drop ceiling, any type of grid manufacturer. It can be an Armstrong ceiling, it can be a USG ceiling, it can be a CertainTeed ceiling. All of these fixtures integrate into any of those grid types. So what I wanted to jump into is essentially our flagship product, which you can see in the screen here. This is called our Duo T-bar fixture, and it is a great alternative to 2x2s or 2x4s or even linear slot type of products. And on the screen, I will show you a few specifications about the fixture, some of the different options, and then also some pictures or some screenshots of some different spaces where designers have installed or designed in the Duo T-bar fixture into those spaces. So as you can see on the picture on the left, there's a groove in the extrusion. This is a one-piece extrusion that straddles a T-bar. And this is compatible with 15/16 flat T-bar, with 9/16 flat T-bar, or we have different extrusions for your dimensional type of T-bars, like, for example, an Armstrong bolt slot ceiling or their interlude ceiling. We have a whole bunch of different extrusions that are compatible with those different ceiling types. As you can also see on the picture on the left, there are fins, if you will, on the extrusion that support cross T members or T members that come in at different lengths of the fixture, as well as support for ceiling tiles. So to install the fixture simply just drops on the T-bar. Ceiling panels or cross T's interface with the flanges of the extrusion to support the ceiling panels or the T-bars. Here's how the fixture sits on the grid. Really, really simple install for the contractor. Your grid is laid out, fixture drops on the T. The fixture is seismically rated, so a 2-foot or a 4-foot. If your ceiling system has been hung seismically rated, the fixture does not have to be supported to the deck. We do, however, provide tie-up points on the extrusion, where if the contractor wants to tie up the fixture, we provide all those accessory pieces so that the contractor can tie the fixture up. The fixture comes in a 2-foot, 4-foot, 6-foot, 8-foot length. We get all of our extrusions and optics extruded out to 8-foot lengths and then chopped to size. And you can also do continuous run with this fixture. So again, something different than a one line of light on one side of your T-bar. Now you have 2 lines of light with a really wide distribution that I'll get into in a second. How you can actually cut down on fixtures or it may help with the layout because maybe your grid is laid out in a certain way and you're looking for a solution for your lighting. We have case studies online where, why use a duo over a 2x2 or a 2x4? So not only a cleaner ceiling, but better light distribution, better uniformity in your different open office spaces or classrooms, or corridors or waiting rooms, or so many different applications where the duo can just make for a much better atmosphere for the end user than a 2x2 or a 2x4. Corridors. We do a ton of work in corridors for schools, for office spaces, for healthcare. Sometimes your grid line is going right down the middle and you don't want to stagger your light fixture. Now you can just drop the fixture right on that main spine and you have a really nice symmetric look in the corridor. Or maybe your grid line's offset. You can rotate the fixture and then have the fixture run perpendicular down the corridor. Personally, I some corridors that I am in, and you see that kind of scalloping look on the walls or that kind of darkness in a corridor. The Duo does a really nice job of fully illuminating your corridor, reducing that scalloping look on the wall, and again making for a nice appearance for the end user. We do a lot of education, as I mentioned. Spacing. So with our optics, we utilize an edge-lit optical system, and we're really distributing the light with a nice asymmetric batwing distribution so that you can cut down on fixtures. In our case studies, we show how you can sometimes get rid of a whole row of fixtures if you're, when you compare it to a 2x2 or a 2x4. In this corridor, 14-foot spacing by utilizing the Duo fixture. These are 4 foots at 6,000 lumens. So our max lumen output is 1,500 lumens per foot. So on a 4-foot, 6,000. On an 8-foot, 12,000. As you can see in the bottom left, continuous run fixtures. So if you want a 16-footer, maybe a 24-foot fixture, we can go to the foot. There'll be as many 8-foots that we can butt up against each other, and then that last piece, maybe a 6-footer, depending on that end dimension that you need for the long run that you'd like to do. Corporate office spaces. We do a lot of corporate interior fit outs. The fixture makes for, again, just a really nice alternative to some other products that maybe you've used for these type of spaces. On the right-hand side, this shows a 4-footer in a 2x2 grid. So regardless of the length of the fixture that you'd like to specify, that can go into any grid dimension. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the T members come up and rest on the flange of the fixture, and then we have accessory clips that will, essentially lock in the T-bar to the flange of the fixture so it's not, floating around there. Drywall. So we totally get, and we get a lot of requests. There's grid ceiling, but then there's some areas in the same space where there's maybe hard ceiling, and you want to keep the same look or the same aesthetic of the fixture in the grid and in drywall. So we do have a solution where the Duo can be plugged up into a drywall ceiling. Same dimensions, same light output, everything's the same, and it's a really kind of neat way to plug the fixture up into drywall. We have a slimmer version. So this fixture here that I have on my desk, these are 2-inch lenses on each side of the T. And I want to point out too that the driver sits on the back of the extrusion. So it is an integral driver to the fixture. There's no remote power supply required to install the fixture. So this is a 2-inch lens on each side of the T. We have a slimmer version. These are 1-inch lenses on each side of the T, as you can see here. Also, the height of the fixture, I want to point out, is only 2.5 inches in height with the driver, just under 2.5 inches. So those crowded plenum applications could be a nice problem solver for those type of situations. As you can see on the right-hand side here, we also make these crosses that drop at the intersection of the T. So not only can you do straight runs up to 8 feet and then continuous, but you can also do these crosses that the contractor will drop at the intersection, and then your ceiling panels fit into that new opening where the cross sits. You can do individual crosses like this or like this. Here's an RCP of that a specifier designed a corporate space where they are installing these crosses in the private offices, the bigger office, open office spaces. And then down here, as you can see, you can actually connect crosses in any direction. So you could have 6 crosses and connect them in the north-south direction or east-west direction, in any of those directions, and you get a really neat look in the ceiling. And I know I'm breezing through a lot of this because I'm trying to cut this or keep this to 15 minutes. So let me now just jump to our quad fixture. You can see it here on the desk. This is a really neat way to kind of redefine the way that you can integrate your downlighting into a drop ceiling. So the fixture just drops right at the intersection of the T-bar. And what's neat is that you can specify or design in, let me just jump here to a render that I like to show, all 4 quadrants or 2 quadrants, 3 quadrants, or 1 in any sort of configuration. So we've done a ton of like lobby spaces, conference rooms, private conference rooms, cafes, elevator lobbies, really so many different situations where the designer is saying, hey, this is really neat, and I'd like to, integrate this in a really cool aesthetic, but then also based on the performance of each quadrant, it's very functional. So it's really combining form and function with all of our fixtures. So it's not just kind of a neat aesthetic type of product. You're getting really nice light output as well to light the space that you're trying to light. So let me jump back up here. Here's how the fixture sits at the intersection. As you can see in the upper left here, all the electronics are housed in the back plate or the back housing. So your driver, your emergency fixture, or your emergency battery, I mean, everything's housed in the fixture. Here's a nice photo of the quad in a this lobby area, this stairwell. This is a recent picture that I took, actually. This is in Maine, where they redesigned this entire concert pavilion. And in all the private suites at the concert hall, they put in our quad fixtures. And this is a really kind of designery type of tile. So even in those type of tiles, you can integrate the quad fixture, sit it on the grid, and then either through a customized tile program that we have with a few different tile manufacturers, or the contractor can simply field cut the tile. We provide templates that will go in the corner of the tile that the contractor will make that field cut of the tile by just tracing the template that we provide with the fixtures. We can go, this is 1,000 lumens per quadrant. We can actually go up to 1,250 lumens per quadrant. So high ceilings, you want a fixture, maybe all 4 quadrants, 4,000, 5,000 lumens. Again, we can get a lot of light out of the fixtures. We also have different lensing options. So this shows here two wall washers and 2 flat lenses. And as you can see on the screen as well, on the render there, that's also highlighting how you can do some different lensing options, different configurations. We have different control options, RGBW, tunable white. We did a firehouse project where in the firehouse, for a fire call, they wanted one of the quadrants to strobe red, or to be red as kind of like an indicator light. So this is a whole system that I could spend a whole lot of time on and talk about all the different options and technologies that can go into this product. We have a round version. Again, same features, drops right on the T. You can do the different configurations. Corridors. I hear all the time from designers that they don't want to stagger their lighting in a corridor with that grid lines going right down the middle. Now this with the quad, it just can go right down that corridor and make for a really symmetric look. And then also you don't have to worry about those square downlights kind of being, offset or a little bit skewed, where that grid is just going to line everything up perfectly. As I mentioned, kitchenette, kitchens, cafes, different areas. Tech corner, we can integrate speakers, track heads, sensors into the quadrants. So this can be a whole kind of technology hub that drops at the intersection. all of the theme of cleaning up the ceiling, integrating a power source at the intersection, they can house a whole bunch of different technologies. The fixture doesn't have to sit at the intersection. If you want one downlight in the middle of a ceiling panel or in drywall, because you want to keep the same look as the quad, maybe there are some at the intersection, you can also install one downlight at the middle of the panel or in drywall as well. Easy T, let me just touch on this real quick. A surface mount T-bar light. I have it right here. So we have these twist clips. T-bar goes on, twists onto the T-bar like this, and you can do corners, long, straight, continuous runs. Really just kind of follow the grid line in any sort of pattern that you want. We have different lensing options. Integrates onto drywall. We have a three-sided illuminated lens, and we also have a lens that is just on the bottom of the fixture, and that's an extrusion on all three sides, and then a lens on the bottom. But you can do these corners and, again, straight runs. We have a indirect lensing option, as you can see here, and then on the bottom right, a wall washer. Wood slats. We have accessories and hooks and different pieces to integrate the fixture into your different wood slat ceilings. We want to know all the details on the ceiling, and then we have all those clips and accessories that we can integrate the fixture into. So that is, Brian, that is everything that I wanted to talk about. I kept that to 16 minutes. I think I did a pretty good job. But I'll turn it back over to Brian. And again, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, Rob, you did great presentation. I for one really like the idea of using the Duo fixture in place of a standard 2x2 or 2x4 troffer, and just all of your products have such a clean and cool, unique look. Great stuff. See if we have any questions here. We have a few more minutes. Let's see. We have one. Is the driver integral for the quad?
Yes. So if you can see this on the screen, you have your quadrants, and then your electronics are all housed right here. So your driver, your battery, everything is housed in this in the back plate.
Let's see. What CCT and CRI options are available for your fixtures? Color, temperature, CRI.
Sure. 2700 to 5000 K, 80 and 90 CRI, and we can do a 95 CRI if you want a higher than a 90 CRI.
Perfect. And let's see, how do you install the Duo in a drywall ceiling?
Great question. So we have this video that we show how the fixture just, if you can see here, the contractor will hang aircraft cable from structure. We drill holes into the spine of the extrusion. They just thread the cable through the holes. The fixture is going to hang, and they pull the fixture right up in the drywall. So really, really cool, simple way to install the fixture into drywall. We also have a middle piece. If you see here, there's that's still that groove where the T-bar usually goes. We have a middle filler piece that plugs up that hole that snaps right in there, and it houses all that cable that comes with the fixture. And then if they want to uninstall the fixture, pull that middle piece out, and then with like a screwdriver, just release that gripper, and the fixture will come down out of the ceiling if they have to service a driver or a board goes out or something like that.
Very nice. A couple more quick ones. Any tunable white options on any of your fixtures?
Yes. So all of our linears, you can do tunable white, 27 to 5000 K. Everything I showed you, actually. The quad light, tunable, and also RGBW.
Any thoughts on integrated controls?
So yes, so the quad is, we can put a sensor in one of these. You want like a downlight and a sensor. Yes, there's a whole bunch of different controls that we can do with this. With the Duo, right now it's remote sensors, nothing integral. It's just difficult to find a spot where to put a sensor. But we're looking for solutions to that. If anyone has any ideas, we'd love to talk to you.
And last question, we're almost at 10:20 here. Is the filler piece that you showed us for the drywall installation available in custom colors?
Yes, so great question. That's an extruded piece that we can powder coat any color just to match the maybe you have a black extrusion or a black fixture, you want that filler piece to be black, or maybe you want it to be an accent color, like red or green or blue or something like that. Yes, we can color that any color.
Very cool. All right, that's all the time we have. Thank you all for attending the presentation today. Don't miss next month when we'll be presenting an update from Lumen Pulse with a new line of linear products from Lumen Pure. And remember, if you would like to learn more about Aron's unique line of products that Rob presented today, please reach out to your lighting systems rep. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.